Hey guys, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa here with this week's What I Sold on Etsy video. It's like the last week of February sales, and February has been a slow month and continues to be a pretty slow month for me. I did manage to crack the $100 mark in terms of sales this week, but not much over that, so definitely fell short of my $200 weekly goal. I sold 8 items this week, 7 total orders, because I had one shopper who bought 2 items, and for a total of $126. So for February, I'm going to take it. Those are good sales. And I sold one more item from the clearance section, so I am moving that stuff out little by little, which is good, and making some room for some new stuff because spring is coming. It actually feels a little bit like spring here. Well, not so much today, but we're getting some weird weather here. It's been pretty warm, unusually warm for February in Pennsylvania, so anyway, it's starting to feel like spring, and so I'm starting to think about spring and, rummage sales and garage sales and auctions and all that stuff that happens once the weather gets warmer. But anyway, I will show you the shop stats for this week, and then I'll show you each of the items that sold, how much they sold for, and just to keep in mind, as I said, that I just looked outside and we have snow flurries coming down right now. Anyway, so much for spring. Yeah, the price that you see is the selling price of the item and does not include the shipping that the buyer pays to have the item shipped to them, and does not include any fees that I paid to Etsy, doesn't include the purchase price of the item. So without further ado, here's what happened this week. Okay guys, here's a look at my shop stats screen for the week, and as I've been noticing, it's been pretty consistent week to week. There were 3,700 some views and pretty evenly split between listing views and shop views. 116 favorites, most of this being listing favorites, and then a smaller number being shop favorites. And as I said, 7 orders for a total of $126. It kind of looks like there's a spike in sales on certain days, but again, it's very misleading when you only have 7 orders, really. So that's just like a couple orders coming in one day or something. But yeah, let's go see what did actually sell. The first item I sold this week was also my most expensive sale of the week. These sold for $40. This is a set of 3 egg coddlers, they're called. They were made by Royal Worcester. They're, porcelain with a metal top. And these I picked up at an auction back in the fall. I got a pretty good deal on them. What's interesting about these is a conversation came in, I want to say it was like Sunday night or maybe Saturday night. I can't remember when these sold, like over the weekend. And I was busy, so I didn't get to the message until the next morning. And by the time I was about to go answer it, these had sold, but to a different buyer. And the question about it was actually asking if I could split it up because they just wanted the larger one with the flowers on it. And so I'm kind of happy it turned out this way, because I don't like splitting things up, only because then I have to actually create a new listing for the other 2 items, and it's like more work, and it would just be easier to sell all 3 together, which is what happens. So sometimes things work out well. That's the case here anyway. I sold a couple of souvenir pennants this week. This one is Monadnock State Park in New Hampshire somewhere. I'm probably totally butchering that name. This one sold for $10. Now, it's a larger pennant, but as you can see in this picture, it has quite a bit of wear, including little tears along the edge there and creases in it. And I picked this up at an auction, I believe. This adorable little guy sold for $5. He's a really tiny little figurine, a fox figurine. And this is another item I think that came from an auction. I think it was in like a box lot. And yes, I still have more Beatrix Potter figurines. There's still a few left. I sold this one this week for $30. This is Goody Tiptoes, I believe. And I picked up a whole bunch of these at a rummage sale back over the summer. And I sold another pennant this week. This is a mini one. It sold for $10. It's from somewhere I've actually been, the Ausable Chasm in New York, near Lake George. And this came from an auction too. And I sold a sewing pattern this week for $6, a vintage sewing pattern. I believe the pieces were cut, but they were all here. And I think I got this at a thrift store. And the last two items I sold this week sold to the same buyer, and it was an international order. The first item was the tea canister that's pictured here. I know that you see two canisters. I sold the coffee one a while ago. This tea one's been kicking around. It does have quite a bit of wear on it. It had been $10. I marked it down to $5 in the clearance section, and it sold. And I think this came from a thrift store, but a long time ago. And so that same person also bought this vintage card game for $20. And this was an interesting game. It's from the 1960s. And it had like the different states and capitals and state symbols. And there was information in the package. There's like, a local, the creator was someone local, like he was like a few towns away from here. So I'm thinking it might have been something that he actually had like self-published or something, because when I looked it up, I couldn't find any information about it, any others like it. So I listed it for $20, and it did sell, and it's an international order too, so go figure. Thank you everyone for watching. I do put out these videos every week showing the different vintage items I've sold on Etsy in my Etsy shop, Planet Alissa, and try to get some other videos out there once in a while, some haul videos, some haul follow-up videos, and some other videos on selling online. So if you like this, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, comment below, or subscribe to his channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Happy selling, everyone!